Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it.
Hey, you still want to watch that movie later? Hey.
What do you want?
What you ignoring me for? You still want to watch the movie? I want to be weird and shit.
Break up with me.
What you talking about?
You obviously don't care about me, so break up with me.
When did I say that?
You just don't give me the same attention anymore. I told you some guy slid in my DMs, and you didn't care about it.
It ain't that big of a deal. It's whatever.
It's whatever? Really?
What you want me to say? Like, am I supposed to be scared because some dude want to talk to you? Like,
You're supposed to claim me. You don't even post me or want me to post you.
alright, you being dramatic now.
You don't even know if I responded to him or care to ask.
I assume you ignored him or whatever, but I already have you, so why does it matter?
What if I didn't? What if I responded to him and he asked me for my number?
That's cool.
Oh, so you don't care if I leave you for another nigga? Gotcha.
I care. But if all it takes is some random nigga to slide in your DMs with some hard eyes, then you can go ahead and hit the streets.
You know what?
What?
I'm tired. I thought you'd actually try for once, but I get it. You only post the girls you like.
That's what you want to believe. Be my guest.
I find it funny that we always equate decision making to leadership. The first thing that you hear is, a man is supposed to lead. But we live in a different world now where you have to argue, with your woman for the right to lead. Now they do say, what's the old, if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. But if you can't tell me what to do, you can't tell me what to do. And it should never be that way. It should never be that way. But decision making, depending on your situation, if you're in a relationship, you should definitely have a conversation about it. My advice has always been to, if you're a woman and you're dating a man or you're in a relationship with him, allow him to lead first. And then if it doesn't work, then y'all can have a discussion about, how we can make it work. But, you never want to take that away from him. That's the one, you have to allow him to lead. No matter whether you think it's the best decision or not, why not give him a chance? Emotional bias. So when dealing with women, a lot of times in their decision making, it deals with a lot of emotional bias. And it's a stereotype. But women rely heavily on emotions sometimes when making decisions, which is not all accurate, but it can be applied to individuals of any gender. But for the most point, women can be very emotional when they're making a decision about something. Because they're thinking about things that most men don't. Men are to the point type people. Women are very analytic when it comes to decisions. That's why they can never really, there's that old saying that they're either overthinkers or they're indecisive. It's just like it takes a minute. They're looking for the perfect response to something or the perfect plan. So yeah, a lot of times there's a lot of emotional bias to it when they're making this decision. Another thing with women is, like I said, the overthinking and the analytic paralysis. Some women tend to overanalyze their options, leading to indecision. But of course, this is also can be a trait with any gender. because you're gonna hear me say that a lot, because I don't want people getting upset saying, "Oh, you think you know women? You ain't even a woman. How you know?" Just this is just history. You know, I've been in situations. The main thing that I know that they will do is overthink. Always looking for the perfect decision. They'll even overthink your decision. I can have a decision. I can make my mind up about something. And they be like, well, did you try this? Did you try that? What about this? What about that? In a guy's mind, it's like, I'm going to take a chance. I feel strong about this. I'm going to take a chance. You say that around a woman, it's like, whoa, what's the actual perfect solution? So, you know, it's just one of those things that happens. And it rolls right into it, though. But one of the main things with women in decision making is they have a fear of taking risk. You know, I'm not saying that they're less likely to take risks than men, but for the most part, yeah, they feel like there's a lot on the line. You know, it's in a guy's nature to take a chance. That's why most guys aren't good gamblers. You know, taking chances. You know, it's like, go for it. Fuck it, let's go do whatever we need to do. For a woman, she wants to sit down, break everything down, and come up with the best solution. So a lot of times they don't want to take risk. They will worry. They will worry, and they'll worry you. Because it's like, well, what if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? And your mind is like, man, I'm not trying to think about all that. All I know is something needs to get done. Because it goes back to what I said earlier. You know, it's in a man's nature to solve a problem as soon as possible. We can't waste a whole lot of time. The clock doesn't tick, you know, as slow for us as it does for women. You have to make sure that you're on your toes. You know, it's like I said, it ain't fair, but it's just what the truth is. But you know, it's not always how do you say it? It's not always it's not always a guarantee. Like I said, each gender can display these traits, so it's not always a guarantee that they're going to, you know, be afraid to take risk. But those are just some of the stereotypes when it comes to decision making. And that's everything: relationships, what they're going to eat, you know, the kids, everything. For men, though, their number one thing usually is testosterone influence. You know, the higher the testosterone level is, the more they're likely to take risk. You know, and sometimes like impulsive decisions, you know, which it looks like poor decision making, depending on the context. So for men, it's very clear cut and dry, and then we'll think about it later. But it's like, no, we need to make a decision right now. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time. You know, the car been running. Let's go. You know, it's just that type of attitude. But I'll say decision making with men, a lot of it has to do with the testosterone level. And the higher the testosterone is, the more he's likely to make a stupid mistake. And most men also have a cognitive style. So men are more inclined towards like a system one thinking style. You know, pretty much relying on intuition, you know, and their gut feeling. So it's like plan one is, I'm just going to rely on my gut feelings and my intuition, whatever I'm feeling, you know. And like I said, women, you know, they do the system two part, which is, you know, considering different factors, you know, and weighing options. So our cognitive, or our brains, we're wired to just say, you know what, I'm going to go with my gut. And what women is like, well, let's hold on, slow your horses. Let's just look at the factors. Let's look at everything. Let's look at the pros and cons. Me personally, I've always had a pretty quick brain, so I'll think of something and I'll weigh the pros and cons, and I'll be like, okay, I made that my decision. I try to have a lot of confidence in myself and what I want to do, but I'm one of those people. I'm ready for the consequence. That's how I look at everything. Think about the consequence first, and are you ready for it? Then make your decision. But lastly, I would say, because I'm trying to keep these to like 3. I don't want to do a bunch of them, but I think the third one would probably be social expectations. You know, guys can be very insecure when it comes to peer pressure. So A lot of them can make decisions. You don't have a lot of guys that are, like I said, that are leaders. So a lot of them will do what other people tell them to do. You know, and some of y'all ladies know what I'm talking about. If their mama still tell them what they do, tell them what they should do. If their friends still tell them what they should do, whoever, you have a lot of guys that are like that, where they rely on everybody else to help them make their decision. It takes a strong-minded man to make his own decisions and live with it. But societal norms can influence, how men present themselves, like in decision-making situations. So, it kind of makes them look confident, but they're more unsure, So, of course, that's going to result in, poor choices. So just take those things into consideration. My advice is just to always, like I said, once you're faced with something, think about the consequence of it first. No matter if it's good or bad, no matter if the situation is good or bad, think about the consequence. And if you're prepared to deal with it. If you're prepared to deal with it, then take a chance. If you're not, look at your options, look at, all the things that factor into it, make the right decision. But as always,